we've added our flour. It's had a chance to cook for about 10 minutes now. And now we've cooked out some of that starchiness that's going to be in our roux, so our soup has a real nice mouthfeel when we're done. Next thing we're going to do is add our chicken stock. And you can hear that noise. That's what I was talking about before. You want to really make sure that the liquid you add is cold because it'll thicken as soon as you add your liquid. So I'm going to squeeze in this and start to stir. And what you'll see is if you look at this now, it's one big ugly mess. And if we were to let this keep going, that's what our soup's going to look like. But what we want to do is just keep stirring until everything gets dissolved. And once again, I didn't add all my chicken stock that I think I'm going to need because it's much easier to add some more than it is to take some out. All right. So looking at this, let me show you. It's starting to get pretty thick, but we're developing that beautiful, rich, red-orange color. I am going to need some more chicken broth. Now, if you wanted to make this a vegetarian soup, you could use vegetable broth. You could use water. You can use any sort of liquid you want. It depends on what type of a flavor you want out of your finished soup. So once we get this all our roux in there dissolved, this needs to simmer for 10 minutes or so until our carrots are fully cooked and we get rid of any last little bit of flouriness. Now while that's simmering, our mac and cheese is cooking. That's only got a couple more minutes. We're going to do the last part of our meal, which is going to be our grilled cheese. I have some beautiful fresh sourdough bread that we're going to start our grilled cheese with. But before I put my grilled cheese in the pan, I want to get my pan warmed up a little bit. And I'm actually going to salt the pan, which might seem kind of weird. But I want, when I bite into my sandwich, I want to get a little blast of salt right away. It's not going to be salty all the way through, but just on the outside of the sandwich. So I put some salt in there, and I'm going to drizzle some extra virgin olive oil. If you're going to buy olive oil, and you like the flavor of olive oil, spend the extra money to get a nice extra virgin olive oil. It really has that fruitiness to it and just fantastic flavor, as well as it's pretty healthy for you, as far as fat goes. So I'm going to put that in there, and now I'm going to add our fresh mozzarella cheese. So I'm just going to make one sandwich, but you can cook one sandwich much faster if you do it in 2 halves. Let's turn this down a little bit. So I have beautiful fresh mozzarella. A couple months ago, I had the opportunity to go out to Wisconsin and actually tour the plant where they made this. And it was unbelievable. I actually had this exact same cheese, and it was about an hour and a half after the milk came out of the cow. Just an incredible experience. So if you like lots of cheese, add lots of cheese. If you don't like tons of cheese, don't add as much. You can mix, if you had a little cheese left over from your mac and cheese, you could add a little bit of that. So I'm just going to add a little more, and I'm going to add some fresh basil. Now usually when I make a grilled cheese sandwich, I'll use American cheese, I'll use some cheddar cheese and other things, but I think that this is going to go awesome. We don't have any other mozzarella cheese in our meal we're going to have tonight. Give this another stir. And this is going to be, you won't even need a spoon to eat your soup because you're going to have this grilled cheese. So we'll get the rest of this basil on there. We'll take a break for a couple minutes. Once this gets a chance to finish cooking, I'll show you this. I'll show you how we're going to puree it. We're going to add a little bit of cream to it, finish the soup, finish our grilled cheese, and we're going to eat some mac and cheese. All right, now here's our mac and cheese, hot and fresh out of the oven. Let's shut our oven. But you can see, now we've got that nice golden brown top. I'm gonna put this down. We took a couple moments, put our sandwich together, let it brown on both sides. It's looking awesome. So the heat's off, it's just chilling in the pan right there. Our soup is really coming together nicely. Take a peek at that. So we've got all those wonderful chunks of vegetables. I decided we're not even going to puree it this time. If you want it real smooth, go ahead and puree it. The last thing we needed to do is we're going to add some cream to it, because it wouldn't be cream of tomato soup without a little bit of cream, would it? So by a little bit, go ahead and add a pint. And like I said, the last thing you want to do is always taste. Taste, taste, taste. So grab another spoon. Make sure we're right where we want. Yep, that's it right there. So we're going to go ahead, take a little bit of our macaroni and cheese, put it on a plate here. You can see, look at that. Oh yeah. Whoops, it's okay. Who cares? That's the snack that cooks get to eat right there on the table. So put a little more on there. We're going to grab our grilled cheese, put it right here. We'll cut this puppy right in half. We'll serve half of that right on top of our macaroni and cheese like that. I'm going to go ahead and put some of our soup into a bowl. We'll get Arthur up here and we'll see what he thinks of the food we made tonight. Welcome back, Arthur. Thanks for having me here at Hudson Appliance to do our show tonight.
You're very welcome.
Let me show you what we did. So we've got a nice creamy macaroni and cheese with nice breadcrumbs on top. They get nice and crunchy. It's going to give a great contrast in textures as we eat it. We've got our grilled cheese sandwich made with nice fresh mozzarella cheese. And we also have our cream and tomato soup. We decided not to puree it because we had all these beautiful chunks of vegetables we wanted to show off. What do you say we give it a whirl?
Oh, I'd love to.
Now that's wicked good.